In today's video, we're going to talk about all things Sashiko. I have lots of lovely things to share with you, including things my mum has made, so stay tuned to the end to see those. I first started working on Sashiko about 4 or 5 years ago, and in this little house sewing box, it's where I keep lots of my Sashiko projects. If you're not familiar, Sashiko is a type of stitching that originates from Japan, and it was a type of mending, visible mending for clothing. Nowadays it is also a real art form, and I will link to fantastic YouTube channels of real Sashiko experts. I'll put the links to those in the description box, as well as any other resources that I come across, because I am certainly no expert. I'm still on my journey with Sashiko, but I wanted to share what I do know about it with you. Traditionally, Sashiko was done with a white thread on indigo fabric, but now you can get a whole array of colours, variegated, solid colours. There are so many to choose from, and Sashiko thread is quite thick. It's a little bit thicker than a 12 weight thread, for example, but you can also buy finer ones like these, and the colours are just so beautiful, so definitely have a look around at what is available out there. Now, I started this Sakura cherry blossom kit quite a few years ago now, and I haven't finished it, but it's just to give you an idea. You get the printed fabric with the design on it, and then the Sashiko stitch is just a really simple running stitch, and you do it all in one direction. So you do all of the vertical, you do all of the horizontal, you do the diagonal one way and then the diagonal the other way, and that is how you build up the design, and you get a design on both sides. Both sides look really interesting. This one isn't finished, but you can see it's creating a secondary pattern on the back, which is really cool to see. Sashiko thread comes in really large skeins, and unlike embroidery thread, you do need to wind it off the skein because it doesn't come out in a figure of 8 like an embroidery thread would. So I find those thread cards really useful, and I have these really cute snips from Japan as well, made by Kohona, and they're just very cute, and I always keep them with my Sashiko projects. When you buy the pre-printed cloth, it comes with instructions for how to go about your stitching and everything that you need to know, but you'll notice it is in Japanese. Now, don't let this put you off if you don't read Japanese, because I have a really good hack for you for how you can access these instructions. You just need the Google Lens app on your phone, and then when you hold that over the writing, you'll see that it changes into your language. So you can use this for instructions in any language. It's a great translation tool. Now, this is my first ever piece of Sashiko stitching. I used a variegated white pink thread on an indigo fabric with this lovely design that was pre-printed onto it, and I loved stitching this. And then I thought, what am I going to do with it afterwards? So I made a Japanese rice bag, which is very similar to the bag I actually made in my previous video. However, it is constructed in a completely different way. But I added some patches of Liberty and also an EPP Liberty flower with a bit of hand stitching around the edge, and it was such a fun project. I recently bought these pre-printed fabrics with just dots on to create my own design, so you can choose whether you would like to buy something like that, or fabric with no dots printed on at all, or fabric with a design already printed on, which I would recommend for beginners because it is harder than you might think to create your own design, but the instructions still give you some ideas. And the fabric is double thickness, and you can stitch through both thicknesses if you wish. What I really love about Sashiko is that it is really repetitive and meditative, and that makes it really relaxing. And I think it's also really appealing to those of us who really love patchwork and quilting, because the designs are very geometric, they're repeated, and the actual stitch is really reminiscent of hand quilting, with it just being a running stitch. And it can give us lots of ideas for hand quilting designs as well. Obviously, Sashiko is on a much smaller scale, but any of these designs could be translated to hand quilting by just simply enlarging them. So I think it is the perfect type of slow stitching, particularly for quilters and patchworkers. So today I'm going to have a little go at creating a design from scratch using the dotted fabric and this white thread, and I'm going to make a small coaster inspired by this book I have, which is full of designs and it's a really lovely book, and I'll link to it below. So whilst I'm winding up the thread, I thought I would take this opportunity to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. As you know, I really love lots of crafts that are slow, repetitive, meditative, and I really enjoy crochet. And this summer, I'm hoping with the warmer weather and a bit of extra free time to up my crochet skills. So I was super excited to find wonderful classes about crochet over on Skillshare. There's an excellent class by Tony Lipsey that walks you through all of the steps as a beginner. There's also a really interesting class by Lee Sartori about crocheting a garment, which is something I've never done before. Skillshare is the largest online learning platform with so many classes on creative topics ranging from knitting to crochet, illustration, photography, and so much more. If you're interested in starting your learning journey this summer, then why not explore Skillshare to either level up your skills in something that you're already interested in or to find a new passion. The first 500 people to use the link in the description box of this video will receive 1 month free trial of Skillshare, so why not give it a go this summer? Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Sashiko needles are quite long and quite thick. That is so you can load up lots of stitches onto the needle at once. And for the first time I'm going to use a Sashiko thimble, which goes in quite an unusual place. It's not your typical type of thimble. This one is made by Clover and it is adjustable, and so I'm trying it on my middle finger first because the technique that I've seen is that you push the needle with the sort of bottom of your finger, top of your hand. Now I have to say that this didn't come naturally to me. I just kept feeling like I wanted to push with my finger as I normally do when I'm doing embroidery and applique and things like that. So it really did take some getting used to, but I persevered with it because I just know that if I can get that technique in the end, it will make Sashiko faster and quite enjoyable. But throughout this process, I kept moving the thimble between my index finger and my middle finger because I just couldn't quite find the sweet spot for it. I haven't given up on using the thimble. I'm going to keep persevering and hopefully it will click with time. But here are all of the stitches going in one direction. I'm doing a cross type pattern. So I've finished all of the horizontal stitches or vertical, depending which way round you look at it. I really have been trying to use the thimble. I keep switching it between fingers to try and find the right place, but I just have not mastered that technique yet. I think it's going to take a while to be able to do that. And then I just find the needle is hitting my hand much further down when I use that kind of grip, so I can't get it in that position. It just feels unnatural to me, but I'm going to persevere with it and keep going, and I'm now going to stitch all of the lines going in the opposite direction to create crosses, and then I'm going to do hopefully some diagonal lines if I can work that out, or maybe crosses in between. It's funny when you look at it, you see other patterns emerging, so I'm going to cross over some of these lines and yeah, we'll see how that goes. So now you can see that the design is complete. I've done quite large stitches for this because it didn't exactly work out how I thought it was going to with the dots, but I'm quite happy with it, and now I am going to wash it and then draw a circle on it to create my coaster. And this is what it looked like after washing the dots out, and you can see that they're still visible. I think maybe the detergent I used wasn't strong enough. I used a hand wash detergent and it just didn't get the dots out, but never mind, we will keep going. So I'm just using my favourite air erasable pen to draw the circle on, and then I'm going to use the sewing machine to stitch on that line to do some stay stitching, because I don't want to cut my thread before it has been secured, so I'm using quite a short stitch length here to secure everything. And next I'm just cutting about 1/4 of an inch away from that line, and that will be my seam allowance. So I've chosen my backing fabric in a contrasting colour, and I'm just using 2 layers just to give it a bit of extra thickness, and now I'm going to stitch on that same line by putting them both right sides together and then turn it right side out and stitch up the opening to complete the coaster. And I just used a simple ladder stitch to do this. And this is what it looked like when it was complete. I'm going to give it another soak to try and remove the dots again, but I'm pretty happy with it. It's a little bit on the small side in the end, so I think when I make another one I'll make it a bit bigger, and of course I'll do a different stitch design on it. I'm really keen on trying some other designs and also want to finish my big Sakura piece as well, but I'm happy with how it turned out. It was a fun little project and very relaxing to do. So I really hope that you enjoyed seeing a little bit about the Sashiko that I've been doing, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing the coaster. And now we're going to take a trip over to my mum's house, because she's really gotten into Sashiko over the last couple of years, and she's got some really lovely projects to share that I think you'll find really inspirational. So let's go and take a look. Hi, so this is my mum, and she has been doing quite a fair bit of Sashiko, haven't you, Mum?
Yes.
Want to show us?
Hi everybody. Yes, I have, and I thought I'd show you some of the things.
Let's have a look at what you've been doing then.
Right, well, Emma introduced me to the idea of Sashiko, which I keep calling Sashiko. And I looked online and found these kits that I really liked. They are Hokusai's views of Mount Fuji, and there were 4 in the kit, and I really liked the dark blue background and the light coloured stitching. So my 2 daughters bought them for me for Mother's Day, and I started on this is quite a while ago now, and I've done one completely, this one, and I've started another one.
Have you washed it to take the
no
lines away? You haven't done that yet?
No, I haven't, because there's still some lines around the edge on that one that I haven't stitched, because I was trying to decide what to do with it. You can sew through one, they're sort of folded, and you can sew through 1 thickness or 2, and I actually stitched through the 2 because it felt more comfortable to do that with the thickness of the threads. And I hadn't decided what I wanted to do with them, so I haven't washed them yet. But I've now decided I want to make them into a wall hanging when I've done all 4 of them. And I've got this backing fabric that I might use as a binding, and also as, if I've got enough of it, which I think I have, to do the back of them as well, so they'd be sort of quilted. Is that right?
Yeah,
yeah. What it is? And do a wall hanging of the 4 of them vertically. That's my plan.
In the style of the one that I made.
Yeah, in the style of that one over there on the wall. The Hokusai's Wave is my favourite, and I haven't done that one yet. I'm saving that one till the last because that's my favourite. But I've done that one, and I've started another one, which is here. I've only done a little bit of this. Oh, actually, no, this is Hokusai's wave. I have decided to do that next. I've forgotten I haven't done any for a while.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It will be. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I loved that painting.
What colours are the threads for the Hokusai designs?
Right, they send you all the thread you need in with the kit, and needles and instructions. The current one I'm doing, I've got the threads in here. There's blue and yellow and white, and this is a bag Emma made and it's perfect size for my current project. So they're there, and there's the other two colours are the red and the green. I think it was just it was just 5 to do these kits.
Yeah.
In between, because I am one who leaves things and goes on to something else and go, I wonder who takes after me for that. In between, I did this one. I bought this one myself and the threads to go with it. It's because I just thought the pink, the pale pink and the black went nice together. I really enjoyed doing this. So
it's beautiful.
I did that one. And you can buy on the Japan Crafts website, you can buy all these unstitched. They're printed for you. And you can buy all the right cottons and things. Right, well, during COVID, I had the idea that I wanted to do something on a garment because that's the origin of Sashiko work. And I remembered I had this jacket, which was very plain, and I thought I could brighten it up a bit. It's actually already quilted in navy blue on top of navy blue, and it's unlined. So I thought, oh, this is perfect to do the stitching. So I've got a couple of dresses that match to the jacket. And so I chose the threads to complement the colours in the dresses. And I wanted to do 3 colours. And so I've picked a cerise colour, a green, and a lighter blue than what the jacket itself is. And I ordered the threads to do that. I followed the pattern of the quilting that was already there. I did almost every line of it. I left some out that I thought it was too much. I did this panel down the front on both sides, and I did the edges of the sleeves. The whole jacket is quilted in that design, but I just thought that was enough. And then I realised when I was doing it that the back wouldn't look so good because of all the fastening off ends. And so I got some other fabric and I lined the panel inside on both sides with a piece of fabric to cover my stitching.
Looks lovely.
And that's it, really.
Have you worn it much?
Once or twice. I'm waiting for the weather to get a bit warmer and then I will wear it some more.
What is it about Sashiko that you really like?
I find it very therapeutic and relaxing to do. It's very simple. You just really basically just doing running stitches in different directions. When I did the pink one, I did all the horizontals, then all the verticals, and then all the diagonals, because that's how they tell you to do it. These pictures are slightly different to that. They're still just tiny little running stitches, but they're in different directions. But it's very therapeutic because it's very simple. You don't have to think really. You're just following the stitches and trying to make them all the same size, really. So,
do you use a thimble or anything?
No, I haven't done. I'm trying to make all the stitches the same length and the gaps between them the same. And I keep on undoing it when I'm not happy with it. It's quite tricky to get it looking the way I like it. Well, it is simple. And anyone could do it. And quite relaxing.
I think you're doing a good job of that.
Oh, thank you.
Although it's not easy doing it on camera, is it?
No. Sort of feel like everybody's watching me. Oh, they are. Oh, that gap's too big. There we go.
Well, thanks, Mum, for showing us your Sashiko. It was really interesting.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
So I really hope you enjoyed seeing her projects. Weren't they lovely? I really want to try one like the pictures that she's got, so different to just the geometric design, but an actual picture in Sashiko. And yeah, I think I might do one of them one day. So I really hope that you liked seeing everything that I've shared today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time with something else. Take care. Bye bye.